a dream working from home setup. Plenty of space for prep, for cooking, and you can just see the proportions. This is the full width. Now we are on one of Stoke Newington's best streets today, Allerton Road, to show you probably one of the best houses we've had on our channel. Now, this is 2,500 square feet, it's fully extended, 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and it's beautifully finished. Let's go and take a look. And we are in. Now the house is spread across 3.5 stories. We're going to show you the ground floor first. The owners have been here since 2011, and in that time they have done a great deal of work and refurbishment. Before we get onto that, just want to point out that Allerton Road offers some of the widest plots available in Stoke Newington. This house is just over 18 foot in width, and it's a very deep plot too. The house is close to 50 feet deep and the garden is 80 feet deep, so you get this big plot that the house sits on. Whilst the owners have done a huge amount of work since owning the house, they've also kept a lot of the original character. You've got the cornicing, this beautiful bay window that floods the house with light, the original skirting, the original doors, and these big, beautiful, original chimneys and fireplaces as well. This one's been replaced with a wood burner to keep you warm in the winter, and they've opened up these 2 reception rooms to let the light flow through. The rear half of the reception, again, keeping that character, this restored marble fireplace. The flooring's been replaced, but it's still wooden, it's herringbone, and it's beautiful. And you have these lovely high ceilings too. Now, originally there would have been French doors here, which looked out into the side return of the garden. The owners have done the side return extension and connected these 2 rooms with a skylight, which just floods this room with light. The original French doors are available to see on the tour, which we'll show you on the way around. But first, let's go and take a look at the kitchen. So down into the side return, and it's worth pointing out here that typically when we show you these side return extensions, these are very small corridors, but not here. Again, because the plot width is so good here, we have over a 6 foot side return, which makes for a dream working from home setup. The sellers have finished it with probably one of the biggest skylights we've shown you on these tours, and that brings the natural light through perfectly. Now into the kitchen, one of the first things that I noticed being a music fan was this gorgeous setup. Enough room for the decks, loads of space for records, and then shelving for artwork, books, etc. It's beautiful. And it's not just about aesthetics, it has functionality too. There's storage underneath these shelves here. Moving through to the kitchen, I really like how the contrast of these white worktops go against these black tiles. I've not seen those before, and it's a really nice touch. They've also matched in these chunky wooden worktops with the shelving, which you also might have noticed underneath the decks just in front of me. And it's a really social space too. Plenty of space for prep, for cooking, breakfast bar if you're hosting your family, enough space for a 6 or 8 seater if you're hosting friends. And we've also got a great level of thought into the design here. We mentioned earlier in the reception room about the repurposing of the French doors, and here they are. They're beautiful. This is now a bespoke cupboard which displays their crockery. It's still got the original stained glass on the window as well. It's a really nice touch. And the detail is worth talking about in here. These lampshades match the colour of the shelving matches the colour of the rear doors, and that matches the colour of the rendering in the garden as well. Now, we've talked about the width of Allerton Road a lot already. We've also talked about the depth. One of the biggest benefits of these houses is the size of the garden compared to other streets locally. So without further ado, let's take a look. Now, the garden is 80 feet in length, and whilst the owners have put a huge amount of time and effort into the refurbishment of the inside of the house, they've put an equal amount of energy and effort into the landscaping of the garden. They've done a fantastic job. Because the garden is such a great size, they've managed to section it out into separate zones. And the first is this alfresco dining space. It's a really nice continuation of the kitchen. And so it's that social space that's interconnected with the dining room. And it makes for a great space to have breakfast, have dinner with friends, with family. As we move through the garden, it's worth pointing out that this is south facing, so you will get all the sun during spring and summer. It's really nice and secluded as well. It's pretty much green everywhere we're looking. In the second section, we have this relaxation zone. I've spent time in this chair already, and this beautiful garden, lots of mature shrubs and bushes. There's the fire pit, probably my favorite part of the garden. So once you've eaten, if you still want to entertain, you can get this going, keep warm long into the evening. Two other things worth pointing out as we move through, these beautiful sleepers. They're really solid under our feet. You can obviously strip these back and restain them. And this AstroTurf, firstly, very convincing. Secondly, is specifically dog friendly. So if you have pets, it'll be absolutely fine. Now in 2019, the owners had this home studio built, and they're really popular additions nowadays because they offer such versatile square footage. It's not just beautiful from the outside, it's equally so on the inside. So let's go and take a look. So as we mentioned, this space is 4 or 5 years old now, but it's still looking super clean, really fresh, and it's such a versatile space. It's fully double glazed. There's power out here, there's heating here, it has a really Scandi design. It's beautiful. So if you are working from home and you need this space, or you have teenagers that you want out the house, or you have family and friends to stay, this is perfect. Could also make for a studio, a gym, a yoga space. They're so handy, and they're becoming really popular. It's a great use of the garden. There's also lots of storage around the side of the home office. It must be 5.5 feet wide and at least 8 or 9 feet deep, so it's bigger than some gardens we see in Stoke Newington. You also get this beautiful picture of the back of the house. It's an awesome silhouette from here. It's very secluded too. It's just green everywhere I'm looking, and it's south facing as well, so during the summer months it is bathed in sun. Now that's the ground floor. We're going to go and take a look at the bedrooms next, so I'll see you back inside. So as we've come back through the kitchen and taken the stairs up to the first landing, we've passed a downstairs WC and utility room and a massive basement, which is perfect for storage. Now we're going to take a look at the first of 5 bedrooms and the first of 3 bathrooms. And again, you'll see how well the owners have curated this space. The orange blanket, the orange pillows, that orange tone on the lampshade, this beautiful double glazed sash window that frames that view perfectly as well. And they've gone with the same theme in the bathroom too. This orange floor pops against the pearlescent tiles. It's a slick design. It's also got the pocket door, which you'll know all about from our Terraced tour, a very good space-saving design. Let's go and take a look at the other rooms. 2 further bedrooms to show you from this landing, both forming part of the original layout. Now the first is the middle room, and actually a really good size. Again, it shows off the proportions for Allerton Road perfectly, and the design is considered too. The green bed sheets, the green tones on the wall, the green cupboard, skirting, fireplace, window frame, all picking out those green tones from the garden perfectly. As we move through, this is the original principal bedroom, what would have been the master bedroom many moons ago, and you can just see the proportions. This is the full width of the plot. It's huge. Now, for a very long time, when owners extended up into the loft, they would then take that loft room as the principal bedroom. Often you'd have a bedroom and ensuite up top. What's becoming equally popular today is opening these 2 rooms up to create an L-shaped principal suite. So the bed would run from where the wardrobe is, the wall would be opened where the bed is, and you would walk through this space, through a walk-in wardrobe, into an ensuite, which would be at the rear of the green room we just saw. It's a way of getting modern living out of these period properties, and there are lots of examples that we could show you. Let's take a look at the next floor. So some of the houses on Allerton Road have 3-storey rear additions. We're in the 3rd storey, which means we're on the top floor. Now, although this forms part of the original layout, the owners have made some brilliant changes to create these 2 rooms. Firstly, we've got these skylights that flood the room with light, these views across the garden and trees as well. And if you don't want the music in the kitchen, it would be a great music room, large single or study. Now, they actually removed the chimney from this room and pulled the wall closer into the bedroom so that you then get a much bigger shared bathroom. The bathroom was replaced in 2016-ish. It still looks great. Brilliant design, very cool tiles, space saving with that sliding door again, and this skylight that brings that natural light in. So we are up on the top floor, and this has to be my favorite bedroom in the house by far. Not just because you've got this gorgeous ensuite. I love how the herringbone tiles match this herringbone flooring, and this is the same flooring we saw downstairs in the reception as well. It's not just my favorite room because you've got eave storage hidden behind this shelving, so really smart design. And it's not just my favorite bedroom because you have these beautiful built-in wardrobes. I think it's my favorite of the lot because of this awesome Juliet balcony. I can see the Clissold Quarter, I can see the trees in Clissold Park, I can see the Shard, and it also gives you that perspective, the depth of the garden here. It's just beautiful. Now, Allerton Road is one of the best streets in the neighbourhood, and I think this has to be one of the best houses we've shown you. It is incredible. And credit to the owners for making such a beautiful space. That's all we've got for you today, so make sure you let us know your thoughts in the comments, and make sure you also check out our other property tours on our channel.